Good morning, welcome. I'm Helen. This is a 60-minute all levels Vinyasa class with the focus today on Warrior One pose. To be honest, it's not one of my favorite poses, but I think a big reason for that is it's often, for my body, taught too early in class and I'm not sufficiently warm, specifically in my pelvis and hips, to get into it comfortably. So the goal today is to find a lot of warm-up poses in that area to build toward Warrior One, and then also to find some variations of Warrior One that maybe are more fun or more comfortable in your body. When you're ready, we're going to get started in a child's pose. So you can find your way to the back of your mat, knees together or wide. Big toes touch, hips to heels, arms can stretch out in front, or if you prefer, you can stay more upright in a seat or find any other shape. And once you arrive in your child's pose, just really give yourself a moment to settle into your mat, arrive in your space, arrive into your practice. And start to tune in and notice everything that's going on physically, mentally, energetically. And then deepen your breath. If it's comfortable, you can turn on Ujjayi breath in and out through your nose, creating a slight constriction at the back of your throat, and a little pause at the top and bottom of your inhales and exhales. And then if you have any kind of intention you'd like to set, something personal, feel free to set that now. Or maybe you just embody this idea of the warrior, whatever that means or feels like to you. We'll take 2 more rounds of breath here. Stay low to the ground. Walk your hands over to your right. You can stack your left hand on top if that feels good. Let your hips lean a little bit left. Breathe into your left side. And then pass through center to the other side. Hands left, hips right. Sending that nice full breath into your right side. Come back to center with your hands. Make your way to a tabletop, hands and knees. Stack your shoulders right above your wrists, spread your fingers wide, hips right above your knees. And then start to move in any way that feels good. For me, it's cow and cat this morning. Inhale, lift your tailbone, drop your belly, send your heart forward if you're following along. Exhale to cat, press the ground away, chin to chest. Feel free to continue like that with your breath, arching and rounding, or add in any extra movement, a little side to side sway of your hips. Some head rolls, getting into your neck. Whatever is calling your name. Let this be organic and natural, intuitive for what you need right now. Let's do one more round of breath. Bring it back to neutral. Draw your knees together so they touch and extend your right leg behind you like you're stamping your foot into the back wall. Take a breath in, lengthen through your spine. As you exhale, cross your foot to the left, toes stay tucked under, heel back, and then peek over your left shoulder. Breathing into your right side once more, maybe drawing your right hip further back. Come back through center, extend your leg long, breathe in. Take it out to the right, and then take your left arm to the sky. Big inhale, we'll take an extended leg, thread the needle. Still early, so you might just reach in that direction, not bring your shoulder down. You might be able to drop your shoulder to the side of your head, and then take your right hand wherever it feels good. Forward, back. Continue with your slow, steady breaths. And gently unwind. Right hand down, left arm out and up. Breathe in. Exhale, release your hands. Tuck your right knee under. Take any little movements to reset, a sway side to side, back to cow and cat, or maybe a moment in your child's pose. When you're ready, knees together, we'll take the second side. Left leg back, big breath in, press through your heel. Stay engaged and active through your leg. Exhale, cross it to your right. Peek over your right shoulder and draw your left hip back. Extend your leg behind you, inhale. Take it out to your left as you exhale. Right arm reaches high, big breath in. Thread to your left. Either stay more upright or come all the way down, you decide. And then wherever your left hand feels good or is supportive for you, find that position. Unwind left hand by your face, unthread right arm out and up, breathe in. Exhale, release your hand. Left knee tucks under. Same thing, any counter movements, maybe it's a wrist stretch this time, a little lean back. We will meet eventually in downward facing dog, but take your time to find your way into that shape. Down dog, nice upside down V shape. Your knees can bend a lot, especially if you feel tight in your hamstrings. Think about lifting your tailbone to the sky, chest to thigh so your spine is long. And then maybe you pedal your feet, sway side to side. I personally like my feet pretty close together in down dog. Your feet can always go wider. Reach your right leg to the sky, breathe in. Open up your hip, bend your knee, and take some movement here. Circle with your knee to get into your hip joint, bend and straighten, or roll your ankle. Maybe all of the above. Release your foot down, other side, left leg high, breathe in. Open up your hip, bend your knee. Find those movements that feel good. Just explore how your leg feels from your hip all the way down to your toes. And release your foot. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, make your way to your hands, step, hop, float it. Forward fold. Lift halfway, breathe in, long spine, heart forward, shoulders slide back. Exhale, fold, relax your head and neck. Once more like that. Inhale, lift halfway. Feel even more space. Exhale, fold, let it go. Rise to standing, arms sweep to the sky. Big breath in. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Inhale, reach overhead. Interlace your fingers and flip your palms to the ceiling. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, press your hands forward, round through your upper back. You can bend your knees a little. For me, that feels more comfortable, kind of like a standing cow-cat. And we'll take that a couple of times. Inhale, lift your heart, lengthen. Exhale, hands forward, puff up between your shoulder blades. Maybe you bend your knees. Twice more, breathe in. Breathe it out. Last one. Release your hands, reach high, inhale. Forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, hands down, step your right foot back and drop your right knee down to your mat. You can always keep it lifted if you prefer, but we're really gonna work some openness into your hip flexors, inner thighs, pelvis area, groin. So you can stay hands down or maybe hands come to your thigh. Maybe there's stillness or a gentle bit of movement. And to me, sometimes it feels counterintuitive, but to find more space through your hip flexors, it can be really helpful to gently engage your core, scoop your tailbone under to stabilize, and then you can find more of a release. So you may not be as deep or as low to the ground. You're actually finding more stretch there. Breathe into it. Let's do one more round of breath. Release your hands down. We're gonna take a knee down warrior two. So your right foot pivots to the side behind you. Open it up like you would warrior two. Left knee is bent, but your right knee is down. And then same thing here. Maybe stillness feels good. Maybe it's a gentle pulse in and out without forcing any depth. or any kind of stretch or look or feeling, but just allowing your body to guide you into that. Find a little moment of stillness. Keep your legs as they are, a little reverse warrior here, right hand down your back leg, left arm to the sky, big breath in. And then exhale, cartwheel your hands down, a little clunky transition, right foot pivots behind you, plant your palms, left leg reaches up and back, three-legged dog. Open your hip, bend your knee again. We've been in this shape before, you can stay. You can create stillness or movement, or if you want, you can flip for wild thing. Drop your left foot, reach your left arm forward. When you're ready, release your foot back to downward facing dog. Stay or take a vinyasa flow. Inhale, shift forward, high plank upper push-up. Exhale, halfway or all the way to your belly as I'm doing. Baby cobra or up dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Full inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, make some noise, let it go. Once more, big breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, bend your knees, look to your hands. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Lift halfway, breathe in just one time. Forward folds, breathe out. Rise up, reach up, hands high. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Inhale, reach to the sky. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms to the ceiling once more. Breathe in here. This time, exhale, bend your elbows, hands behind your head. Lean back into your hands. Try to traction, lengthen your neck so you're supporting the back of your head. Inhale. As you exhale, like a cat shape, bend your knees like chair and round your upper body forward. Twice more. Inhale, open your elbows, lift your heart, stand tall. Exhale, round it forward, bend your knees. Once more, breathe in. And breathe it out. Stand up, reach up, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Lift halfway, breathe in. Exhale, hands down, left foot steps back. Lower your left knee down. And then find the version that works for you. Hands down or hands to thigh. That slight scoop under to really feel a stretch through your hip flexors. Maybe a little bit of pulsing, a little bit of movement, or a little bit of stillness. Notice with your breath where you're feeling sensation, where you're holding on or tensing up. For me, it's always my shoulders. And where you can relax a little bit more. We'll take one more full round of breath, just starting nice and slowly. Release your hands down, that knee down, warrior two, left foot pivots to the side. Open up, right knee is bent, left knee is down, arms out in a T. And as you did before, you can stay a little pulsing in and out. Notice how this feels. It might be a little funky, a little different. Find stillness. Inhale, reverse warrior, up and back. Exhale, make your way, hands down, however you need to transition. It's not always graceful. And then we'll take it to three-legged dog, right leg up and back, breathe in. Open your hip, bend your knee. Stillness, movement, wild thing. You decide. In your time, back to down dog, stay. Feel free to drop your knees, take a child's pose, take a seat, or take a vinyasa flow, your high plank upper push-up. Chaturanga of some kind, halfway or to your belly. Up dog or cobra, lift your heart, shoulders down your back, whatever you've chosen. Downward facing dog, exhale. This time, full inhale through your nose. Stick out your tongue, lion's breath, let it go. Once more, breathe in. Lion's breath out. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step, hop, floats to your hands, top of your mat. Lift halfway, breathe in. Forward folds, breathe out. Rise up, reach high. Palms together in front of your heart, exhale. Inhale to chair pose, Utkatasana. Arms to the sky, a little peek down. Make sure you can see all 10 of your toes, more weight in your heels. You can always take your feet about hip distance apart. Just make sure your knees are tracking above your toes or in line with your toes. Relax your shoulders. So in a kind of Ashtanga, or maybe sometimes called a traditional sun salute B, where we start in chair pose, we take a warrior one. And for me, that's way too early. So today we'll play with a version of crescent lunge to warrior two, and eventually make our way to warrior one. Bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Open up your chest, roll your shoulders back, big breath in. Belly to thighs, fold it forward. Find a stretch. Relax your head and neck. Knees can totally still be bent here. Hands might be really close to your low back or not even interlaced at all, and that's all good. Release your hands to the ground without slingshotting. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, hands down, right foot steps back, and find your way to a high crescent lunge. So it can be helpful here to peek down at your feet, make sure they're not on a tightrope, and reach your arms to the sky. Helps a little bit with balance and with squaring off hips. So ideally, as we're prepping for warrior one in our crescent lunge, both hip bones are facing forward, same direction, not opening up. Shoulders are relaxed away from your ears. Find your stability here, come back to your breath. Inhale. Exhale, cactus your arms, open up your chest. Notice if you're flaring your ribs, can you knit them in together? So a little bit of a heart opener without dumping into your low back or collapsing into your low back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. And then exhale, as you lean forward, you're gonna take your right arm forward and your left arm back. So maybe a little brain teaser here. You can even take your left thumb to your left hip crease and pull it back to really encourage those hips to square. We're gonna flow like that. So stay with me. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, cactus, open your heart. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, lean forward, right arm forward, left hand back. 2 more times. Breathe in, hands high. Breathe out, cactus. Reach up, inhale. Lean forward, right hand forward, left hand back. With your left hand, really think of drawing your left hip back. 1 more time, you got it. Breathe in. Cactus, breathe out. Inhale, reach. Exhale, right hand forward, left hand back. Take an inhale, arms to the sky. Open to warrior two, exhale. And then feel free to straighten out your left leg, come in and out. I know I'm feeling that in my left glutes. A long time in one shape, so do what you need. We'll breathe and just hold. So warrior two is our more hip open position, whereas warrior one, hips are facing the same direction, still open in a different way, I would say. Keep your legs the same, reverse warrior, stretch it up and back. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, frame your front foot. We're gonna take it to an easy lizard. So still really early in our practice, left foot shimmies out to the side. Hands come inside your left foot. You can stay more upright, keep it more active. You can drop your back knee. You can always let your knee gently open to the side if that feels okay on your knee and your ankle. And you might even turn your toes out a little. So just feel what's happening in your body. Find a big breath in, a big breath out. Let's do one more round of breath. Lift your back knee if it's lowered. Recenter your left foot between your hands. Plant your palms. Left leg floats up and back. 3-legged dog, breathe in. Knee to nose as you exhale, and then you're gonna take a figure 4 downward facing dog. So left ankle crosses over your right thigh. Hips move up and back. And maybe finding a little bit of openness through that left hip and glute that you've been standing on and working. Back to knee to nose, shift forward, left knee comes in. Send it up and back, 3-legged dog. You can stay, you can open up your hip. You can flip it for wild thing. As always, you've got the options if you're flipping left foot down, left arm forward. And then however you want to return to a downward facing dog, to a seat, to a child's pose, take a flow, find it, a moment to reset, grab water, whatever you need to do. Bend your knees, breathe in, look to your hands. Make your way to the top of your mat, exhale. Lift halfway, lengthen. Forward fold, release. Rise, sweep your hands high. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Inhale to chair pose. And take all those little adjustments to steady, to find a sense of groundedness, rootedness, strength. And then a sense of ease, lightness, balance. Hands behind your back once more, interlace with the awkward thumb on top. You can take the fold again if you like that stretch, or this time find a little drinking bird, lift your heels, send your hips back, your bottom maybe a little lower, keep your chest really open. We'll take one more round of breath. Release to forward fold, let go of your hands. Halfway lift, breathe in. And exhale, hands down, left foot steps back, setting up for your high crescent lunge. Peek down at your feet, make your base really stable, and then rise up. So same thing we did kind of with our knee down. You can always bend your back knee, scoop your tailbone under, engage your core, and find more of that stretch to the front of your left hip flexors. Notice if you're gripping with your toes. Notice what your face is doing. Let's take a deep breath in here. Exhale, cactus your arms. Find that openness through your chest without flaring your ribs. Breathe into it. Hands to the sky, breathe in. As you exhale, lean forward, left hand forward, right hand back. And if it's helpful, again, right hand, sides are hard today, can pull your right hip back to encourage your hips to be more even. So left hip forward, right hip back on this side. That back leg wants to pull your hip back, front leg wants to pull it forward, try to even that out. And then we'll flow. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, cactus open. Hands to the sky, breathe in. Exhale, lean forward, left hand forward, right hand back. Twice more. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, cactus. Reach high. Lean forward, right hand back. One more time with your breath. Cactus, exhale. Inhale, reach overhead. Exhale, find your lean, left hand forward, right back. Come back up, breathe in. And then open to warrior two as you breathe out. And you can adjust your feet. You can take that bend and straighten in your front leg. Give your right glutes, your thighs a little break. I don't love a warrior one to a warrior two transition, but I do like a crescent lunge to a warrior two, which we did today. I feel like there's a lot of adjustment happening with your feet from warrior one to warrior two. This feels a little bit more steady, natural. But always do you, what works in your body. Keep your legs the same, reverse warrior up and back. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down and find your way to that version of lizard. Shimmy your foot out to the right, hands come inside your foot. Maybe knee down, maybe it stays lifted. Maybe you gently open your foot, your knee out to the side, coming to the edge of your foot, or turn it out. Tons of options always in each shape. Think less about what it looks like, more about what it feels like and what your body's asking for. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath. Recenter your right foot between your hands. Lift your back knee, plant your palms. Right leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Knee to nose as you exhale. And then figure 4 down dog, right ankle crosses over your left thigh. Send your hips up and back. So just a figure 4 shape with your legs. Breathe into sensation wherever you're feeling this. And it could be different on each side. Back to knee to nose. Shift forward, right knee in. Lift your right leg to the sky. And then open up your hip. Find some movement. If you flipped on the other side and want to find that balance. Wild thing, right foot down. Right arm forward, lift. And then you choose how and when. Return to a downward facing dog. find a seat or a child's pose. A little moment to pause and reset, reconnect. Come to a tabletop, hands and knees, wherever you were previously. Take a big breath in here. We'll exhale to a puppy pose. Walk your hands forward, drop your forehead, your chin, or your chest toward the ground. And it may look more like a child's pose, that's okay. It's kind of an extended version of child's pose. Gently begin to shift yourself forward. We'll take it to Sphinx. So forearms down, hips down. If you'd rather not be on your belly, you can stay in tabletop. Work opposite arm and leg, extending. Open your chest. Draw your heart forward. One more inhale. And then exhale, lower your forehead down. Bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers for a locust. Reach your hands back, let that lift your chest off the ground, and if it's okay in your low back, you can float your feet either wide or zipped up together. Full breath in. Exhale, release down, child's pose, hips to heels. Knees maybe together if you're feeling your low back there. Come to tabletop, hands and knees, once more. Knees together like we did at the beginning of our practice, right leg back, breathe in. Cross it to your left as you exhale, full round of breath here. Inhale, leg behind you. Exhale, take it out to the right. Rise to standing on your knee, arms overhead. Take this to a gate pose. Right hand slides down your right leg, stretch up and over through your left side, finding that space, shoulders stay out of your ears. And then to a supported side plank, left hand to the ground, a block, a prop, whatever you've got handy, right arm to the sky. Option to stay here, or for a little bit more core, really press into your extended leg and see if you can hover your bottom knee or even extend your bottom leg out. All optional, make sure you're breathing. For me, this is the place to be today. One more inhale. Exhale back to tabletop with your leg extended. Take an inhale here. Child's pose, leg stays out to the side, if that's okay on your inner thigh and your knee, if not, regular child's pose. Lift yourself back up, tuck your knee under, take any wiggles, any shapes to reset, cow and cat, wrist stretch. We'll take it to the other side, knees together, left leg back, breathe in. Cross your leg to the right, exhale. Full round of breath, peek over your right shoulder. Inhale, leg back. Exhale, draw it out to the left. Rise to standing, arms overhead, inhale. Gate pose as you exhale, left hand down your left leg, right arm stretches up and over, relax your shoulders. Find that space through your right side. Inhale, hands high. Your supported side plank as you exhale, right hand down, left arm up. Stay, feel that nice stacking, that nice lifting sensation, or if you'd like a little bit more, press through your left foot, hover your right knee, or even extend your right leg out in front. Make sure you're breathing, whatever you're taking. Inhale. Exhale to tabletop with your leg out to the side. So hands come back onto your mat below your shoulders. Take a breath in. Child's pose with your leg out. Again, unless that feels funky or no good, and then regular child's pose is awesome. Lift back to your tabletop. All the movements that you like to reset. Sway, roll your wrists, cow and cats. Maybe even a moment of stillness to just notice how you're feeling. We'll take it to downward facing dog. As you're ready, your nice upside down V shape. Remember, knees can totally bend here, hips high. Bend your knees, breathe in, look forward. Step or hop to the top of your mat, exhale. Lift halfway, lengthen. Forward folds, release. Rise up, hands high. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Inhale to chair pose. We'll take figure 4, left ankle crosses to start. So left ankle over your right thigh, hands to your heart. They can reach up, they can reach forward. You can keep this more upright. You can drop your elbows to your shin. If you want more of a balance challenge, hands to your bottom ankle. Or if you're feeling open enough and you want to play with flying pigeon, your hands come down. You make a shelf with your triceps and your shin moves high onto your triceps to lean forward. It may or may not work for me today. I'm a little bit more in a grounded, stay stable mood. So always listen to your body and honor what it's asking for. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath. Inhale as you are. Crossed ankle fold for your exhale. Left foot slides down your right leg. Hands release toward the ground. You might have to bend your knees a ton. It's all good. Nod your head yes, breathe in. Shake your head no, breathe out. And then let your fingers crawl a little bit to your left. Hips will lean a little bit right. And I like to bend my left knee. You might find both knees bent feels good. Or the opposite, right knee bent. Through center to the other side. Hands right, hips left. And then back to center. We'll take it to standing splits, so hands down. Maybe come onto your fingertips. Really lean forward so your left leg is the base. Press weight into your left toes, right leg to the sky for a standing splits. Feel the lift through your right leg. You can stay. You can walk your hands back in line with your toes. Balance, hands to your ankle, your calf. Maybe forehead to your shin. Maybe even some handstand hops if you'd like a little bit more heat, a little bit more play. Big inhale. No rush, take your time, exhale, right foot steps back. We are gonna set up for warrior 1 finally here. So I'm gonna pivot my left foot out to the side as if I'm taking a lizard pose, and then right heel down. So I'm peeking down, make sure I'm not on a tightrope, I'm more on railroad tracks or skis versus a snowboard. Right toes face forward at a 45-degree angle or a slight lean forward. Root down through both feet evenly, and then rise to standing. And you might find it helpful to go even wider with your feet or even closer together lengthwise. Play with whatever angle, whatever space. You like to find both hip bones as much facing forward as you can. Reach your arms to the sky, breathe in. Like we did from our lunge, exhale, lean forward, left hand back. Left hand or thumb to left hip crease, gently pull it back. Upright your spine, and then take your right hand to your left knee or thigh. Left hand back. So a little bit of a twisted version of a warrior 1. Maybe that helps you hug your inner thighs together, even out your hips even more. Keep pressing through all 4 corners of both feet. Find that sense of groundedness, rootedness. Reach your right arm forward, take a breath in. Exhale, right hand down, lift your back heel. Find a low twisted lunge, left arm to the sky. And that could be horizon lunge, moving to the outer edges of your feet. That could be gently pressing your hands to your thigh, moving to the outer edge of your left foot only. Feel free to play with variations. Breathe in. Exhale, release your hand down. Turn to your right for a Prasarita, wide-legged forward fold. And you probably have to adjust your feet so they're in line, and please feel free to do that. Lift halfway, breathe in. Exhale, fold. Movement or stillness, you decide what feels good. Notice if you're leaning really back into your heels, can you even out the weight between your toes and your heels? Gently lift yourself up, turn back toward your left foot. Take a step forward, right foot meets your left. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, fold. Rise up, reach up, hands overhead. Palms together in front of your heart. Inhale to your chair. Figure 4 on the other side. Right ankle crosses this time, maybe hands to heart or hands stay lifted. Find the version that you want to play with. Hips back, foot is active so that your muscles are engaged and it supports a healthy balance of your knee. If you played with the arm balance on the other side, that flying pigeon, Ekapada Galavasana, hands down, make a shelf. Place your shin really high onto your triceps. Lean forward, look forward. I'm just going to stay. Breathe. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath. Find your inhale. Cross ankle forward fold. Exhale, right foot slides down your left. Hands release to the ground. Nod your head, yes. Breathe in. Shake your head, no. Breathe out. And then crawl fingers to your right, hips to your left. Bend one or both knees. Through center to the other side. Back to center, we're making our way into standing splits. Weight on your front foot, your right foot, hands come forward, lean into your right toes, lift your left leg. And decide what feels like the right space to stay in. A stretch, a little bit more of a balance challenge, hands in line with your toes or to your ankle or your calf. Maybe even forehead to shin, handstand hops. Sometimes the hardest option is just to hang out in one shape, be still and breathe. Let's take one more inhale. Exhale, left foot gently steps back. We're setting up for warrior 1, so shimmy your right foot out to the side. Pivot your back heel flat. Try to even out your hips here first without lifting up. Notice what's happening, especially with your back knee. And then rise up. Feel free to adjust. It's often that our back arch likes to collapse in, so try to keep pressing through that outer knife edge of your back foot as you draw your left hip forward. And if warrior 1 really doesn't work, you're totally welcome to take a crescent lunge. I should have said that on the first side. So always listen to what's working for you. Breathe in. Lean forward, left hand forward, right hand back. Find your hip crease, gently pull it back. Keep that there, rise back up. Right hand to the outside of your right thigh. Left hand to the outside of your right thigh, right arm back. Hug your inner thighs. For me, it helps to engage my glutes to find more space through the front of my hips. Notice sensation. Notice your breath, where your mind goes. Inhale, reach your left arm forward. Exhale, left hand down. Lift your back heel. Find some version of a twisted low lunge. That could be here. Horizon lunge, drop your hips, right hand back. Open up your right hip, knee down. Let this feel good and be what your body's asking for. Let's take one more breath in. Exhale, release your hand down, shimmy your foot back to the center of your mat. Take a big step forward, left foot meets your right. Halfway lift, breathe in. I know we skipped that Prasarita. We'll come back. Inhale, rise, arms to the sky. Doesn't always have to be the same order. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart, right and left sides. Take a breath in here. Breathe it out. Once more. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Sit to chair, inhale. Eagle with your left arm below, left leg above. Toes might wrap, they might touch. Sit a little deeper, even out elbows and knees. We're just gonna hold. Notice if you can direct your energy, your awareness to your outer hips, to the space between your shoulder blades. One more inhale. Your crossed ankle fold as you exhale, release your hands down. Weight into your left foot, fingers forward, right leg to the sky, standing splits, breathe in. Exhale, step your right foot to the back of your mat, shimmy your foot out to the left. Again, find your warrior one setup. So take the time to adjust your feet, back foot at an angle, front toes face forward, front knee bent, back leg is straight. As you can get it, sit low. Deepen or come out. So sometimes deeper doesn't mean more intense physically, it means more aware of what your body really needs. Breathe in. Breathe out, exalt. Left hand to your back leg, right arm to the sky. Find a sense of lift. Keep evening out your hips. Both arms to the sky, unwind from the twist. Exhale, cactus your arms. Interlace your hands behind you, lift your heart, big breath in. Humble warrior as you exhale, begin to hinge it forward. Draw your left hip back, right hip forward. So it's still a warrior one shape, and it doesn't have to be super deep. I'm kind of hovering above my thigh. You might find you can take your shoulder on top of or inside of your thigh, head toward the ground. Do what works the best right now for you. One more inhale. Exhale, release your hands down toward the ground. And it's okay if they don't reach. We're going to take this to a pyramid. So you might step your right foot up a little bit, or even halfway. Straighten out your left leg as best you can. Draw your left hip back. Reach your heart forward, lengthen, inhale, and exhale, fold. Take one more full breath in and out. Gently step forward, right foot meets your left. Lift halfway, breathe in. Exhale, fold. We've got one more side. Rise to standing, arms high. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Inhale to chair pose. Exhale, eagle right. Right arm below, right leg above. Toes can tap, they can wrap. Try to even out elbows and knees once more. Sit back, feel that sensation, outer hips, between your shoulder blades, wherever else you feel it. Breathe. Inhale here. Exhale, cross, ankle fold, hands release to the ground. Right away into your standing splits, weight into your top foot, your right foot, lean forward, left leg high, breathe in. Big step back with your left foot. I'm kind of purposely making you shift on your mat to the side so that you have to walk your foot over. Find that setup for warrior one. Reach your arms to the sky. Find evenness. For me, one side always feels a little different. Hips, can you ground down as you reach up? Breathe in. Exhale, exalt, exalted warrior, right hand back, left arm to the sky. So it's sort of a twist, sort of a back bend, maybe depending on your body or how you're feeling today. Might feel more of one than the other. Hands to the sky, inhale. Cactus your arms as you exhale. Hands interlaced behind you, open your chest, big breath in. Hinge forward for humble warrior as you breathe out. Keep drawing right hip back, left hip forward. Keep leaning forward, more upright like me, closer to the ground if that serves you. One more breath in. Exhale, release your hands. We'll take that prasarita we skipped on the other side. So turning to the side of your mat, even out your feet, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. And now that we're closer to the end of our practice, maybe there's something else you want to do on this side. A twist, a movement. The story of the warrior poses comes from a story of Shiva, who's avenging his wife's death. So he creates a warrior Virabhadra. And Vira translates to hero, and Bhadra translates to friendly. So a friendly hero to avenge the death of his wife. And warrior one, reaching your arms to the sky, is him showing up, arriving, coming, appearing from the earth. That strong warrior shape. Slowly turn back toward your right leg. If you're playing with something, take your time. We'll find our pyramid pose. Left foot steps up a little bit, maybe halfway. Same shape that your feet were in for warrior one. Right toes forward, left foot at an angle. Draw your right hip back, breathe in. Fold yourself over your leg as you breathe out. And a little bend in your right knee is totally okay. If you need props or like props, hands to those. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath. Inhale. Exhale, step it forward. Lift halfway, breathe in. Folds, breathe out. Heel toe your feet out wide for Malasana. Heels in, toes out, sit really low. Hands to your heart. Open up your chest, broaden your collarbones, relax your shoulders, reach up through the crown of your head. Maybe hips and low back feel a little bit more open, groin, inner thigh, all around that area of your pelvis. Maybe not. You can stay. If you'd like an arm balance, crow pose is fun to take from here. Hands down, knees high. Find a little shelf, lean forward to float your feet. If you're ready to sit down, we'll meet in a cobbler's pose eventually. Take your time. For cobblers, feet in a butterfly shape. Lift your heart, breathe in. Begin to hinge it forward as you breathe out. And you can relax your head and neck. You can open your feet like a book, press into your shins, or walk your hands forward. Lots of variations and options. That warrior one shape that we often see in classical Ashtanga style classes, power classes, was kind of created by Krishnamacharya and Pattabhi Jois, working with young Indian men. And so if your hips don't oblige, like mine always don't, or often don't, I should say, in warrior one, know that our bodies are all shaped differently. So always find what works for you without fighting it, but embracing your own unique shape, your own unique capabilities, personality, preferences. Let's find boat pose, knees together. Lean it back, float your shins, arms wide. Lift your heart. Breathe for 2. One more big inhale. Exhale, cross your ankles, plant your palms, step, hop, float it back. Maybe you're craving a vinyasa flow, chaturanga to up dog. Meet us in downward facing dog. Drop your knees. Slowly make your way back into your Sphinx pose on your belly. If you don't want to be in belly down, you can stay in tabletop, stay in child's pose. You can always come onto your back. We're going to take a little Bakasana version of frog. There's several versions of frog. So I like to pivot my left hand a little bit at an angle. Right hand reaches back for my right foot. Start to gently pull your foot toward your glute. And if you've got the flexibility, the mobility, you might bring your toes, fingers forward to press down on your toes. Otherwise, it's gently pulling in. If you can't reach your foot, just reach in that direction. Slowly let it go, switch sides, right forearm down, whatever angle feels best for you. Left hand for your left foot. Gently draw it toward your glute, or maybe fingertips forward, press down. And as your sides feel even, release. You can take a moment, belly down, crocodile pose, elbows wide. Head on your forehead, or press it right back to a child's pose. Release through your low back. Give yourself a little moment of pause, whatever you've chosen, to simply reconnect before we move on to our back if you're not already there. As you're ready, come onto your back. Place your feet on the ground, knees point up to the sky. Finding a bridge pose. If you feel comfortable and would like to take a full wheel, you're welcome to go there. Otherwise, fingers graze your heels, perhaps, depending on the length of your legs. Think about more ankles below your knee joints. Press through your palms. Lift your hips high. Breathe into your belly, your chest. Find even more length through your spine. Hands can stay flat or interlaced. Shimmy your shoulders a little closer together. Keep breathing here. Let go of your hands, lower yourself down, and then hug your knees to your chest. Rock it side to side, make some circles with your knees, whatever release stretches or movements feel best. And then your version of a twist, starting either direction, knees can move together, one leg across, or find those eagle legs. Maybe head in the opposite direction of your legs to take the twist into your neck. And then back through center to the other side. No rush if you'd like to stay in your twist a little longer. Back through center when your sides feel even, whatever last shapes you like, a little squeeze, a little happy baby. You still have a couple of minutes to explore. So feel free to take your time into those last little movements. Maybe come back to your intention, whether that was related to warrior one, the warrior pose. I always think about all the tools that help make a warrior successful. Whether that's the classic battlefield shield and sword, whether that's our props and our yoga mat, the people we support, who support us, we surround ourselves with. Let your practice be something that supports you, so you can face the things that you need to in a friendly and brave way, like the hero you are. When you are ready, if you haven't yet, come into your final Shavasana shape. Make your way down to your back, to your side, to your belly, to a seat like I am. You choose what feels supportive, what lets you be rested. Soft eyes or eyes closed. Breath back to a natural, steady rhythm without controlling it, but still aware of it. And really take this rest you so need and so deserve. Stay in whatever shape that you're in. Unless you're on your belly, bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Tune into the feeling of your breath. The fire within your belly that drives you. The love, passion within your heart that inspires you. And really embody the feeling of the warrior for the rest of your day. You can add little wiggles, little movements, fingers, toes, wrists, ankles, maybe a full body stretch. Take your time. When you're ready, with your eyes closed or your gaze soft, meet me in a seated position unless you're already there. Place your palms together in front of your heart and press your thumbs into your heart space to feel your heart beating. Acknowledge the time that you took to slow down, to move, to breathe, maybe to challenge yourself or not. Acknowledge those who have come before us, have gifted us this practice of yoga. All the people around the world practicing in this moment or at this time, sharing. Maybe you can carry your practice off your mat into all you do today with a little bit more awareness, a little bit more steady of a breath. We'll gently bow our heads together. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Please take your time getting up. As always, don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions or need help with anything. I do have a flow on the YouTube channel that's a warrior flow that includes warrior 1, warrior 2, and warrior 3, so you get the whole range of all those different warrior poses. So if you're interested in that, please check out the rest of the YouTube channel and those classes there. And I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.